When I was pregnant in the fall of 2011, there was a famine in Somalia. I'm not going to talk about all the details and causes, but about 260,000 people died, half of them children under the age of 6. I sat at my computer every day and held my big baby belly and read the stories. I imagined the mothers who were also pregnant and who had little babies and children. I sat in my nice, safe house with food in my cupboards and cried, overwhelmed by my good fortune and by the assurance that my baby would never die of hunger, simply because of the circumstances of my own birth. A few months later, it was time to have the baby, and I struggled for hours and then over a day to birth him. My labor was obstructed, and the peaceful birth I had hoped for became just a dream as my body faltered and ultimately failed. My strong, healthy son was born by C-section, and I was stitched up and sent home. I'm good as new, plus a scar. I later learned that without medical care, obstructed labor can result in the death of the child, the mother, or both. And if the mother survives, she is often left with obstetric fistula, a small hole created by constant pressure from the baby, which causes incontinence, then often rejection by her family. 1 million women suffer from obstetric fistula, and I am not one of them. I think about these things every day. They've become a defining part of my experience of motherhood. I think about the miracle of clean water running from our tap, of the doctor we can visit when my son is sick, of how he goes to a school full of loving people who care about him. I think of the mothers who want these things for their children but simply don't have them, be they halfway around the world or just a few miles away. My family is not wealthy by the standards of our community, but really we are among the richest and luckiest people in the world. The knowledge of our privilege colors everything I do as a mother, and it colors the times when I am not the parent I strive to be. Specifically, it tends to paint them with shame. What right have I to be frustrated when my child will not lie down to sleep in his big warm bed at an hour I deem appropriate? Why should I sometimes seethe with anger when he runs away through his grassy front yard on his lovely, safe street instead of coming when I call him? These things are not important at all when you put them in perspective, and yet they really are important, as those are the moments when I struggle to be the parent I aspire to be. It can be a fine line between empathy and embarrassment, between gratitude and the old, there are starving kids in China who would love to have your dinner. I want to honor my experience as a mother and be patient as I work on the things I find difficult, but when I try to do that, I rationalize it away, deciding that nothing I deal with is so difficult. Even those strong emotions are fleeting. I feel that I don't deserve to be frustrated or angry, that it's not fair for me to have those feelings, and I feel ashamed. I'm too damn lucky. So I struggle with my privilege, even while appreciating it deeply every day. I know that I'm not so far from the mothers who don't have the choices I have, the luxuries of these freedoms. It's my obligation to embrace the empathy, banish the guilt, and try to make change in the world for us all. And it's my privilege to stay up late with my son and to chase him joyfully through the green grass.